This on Season 3, Episode 9, where we watch Solitary, Season 3, Episode 1. I'm Chris Lorenz, and...
Robert Kitts.
I'm Harrison Hoffman.
Mal?
Max. Why are you not Max?
Oh, shit. You're right. I am Max.
Okay. Harrison, give me the show description here.
Solitary takes contestants to the threshold of tolerance by challenging their individual psychological and physical endurance. It's a mind game where the ultimate nemesis lives in their mind in the mind of the contestant, and they never meet one another. The only company available to the players in confinement is the voice of their omniscient friend Val. Val is an ally, confidant, taskmaster, and possibly their worst nightmare. That's Solitary on Fox Reality Channel.
R.I.P. Fox Reality Channel.
R.I.P.
This show is freaking nuts. Like,
it's kind of incredible.
it's like so interesting yet so boring at the same time. Like, I'm not even lying. Like,
I think that's true.
I'm like so interested, but I'm like, what's on the internet? Like, I'm just like, this is so It's like boring, but not boring.
The show has the seeds of something really good, but it suffers from all of Chris's most hated, recaps and nothing's fucking going on.
It definitely has something to do with the tone of the show, I think. Just like this whole Val being super serious. And I'm not sure if there is a right tone for this kind of show. I'm not really sure.
It definitely does feel like it moves slowly. Like it seems like we were waiting for people to sit on that bowling ball forever.
That's
true.
Yeah,
There
was
was
an hour. That felt way more than an hour.
Well, there was like a recap. There was like, next time when we come back from the break, you'll see this. But then you didn't see it till like the next commercial break.
It was
You're
rough,
like,
yeah.
What? Why did you do that? And they kept doing that.
I think part of it might have been that this was episode 1, which was extra long. Most of them are 44 minutes. This one was actually an hour. And I wonder if the 44-minute ones move a little better.
Well, I think we can get into it, but I think if it was just 44 minutes, we wouldn't have got into the actual point where they were solitary, and I would have been like, what is it? I wouldn't have gotten the texture of what the actual show was.
We needed them to get to actual solitary.
Yep.
Like, I don't know if I needed to find the conclusion of the second challenge, but like I needed to see like part of it at least.
Right.
So I'll go over essentially what happens in the show, then we can get into the minutia.
Hit me.
So they have 10 contestants start the show. They signed up for this to be solitary. They know what's happening. They've all signed up for it. And there's
one guy might not know.
There's some interesting characters which we'll get into. But the first thing they do is they split off into pairs and they have to do a challenge together. The top 3 teams are in. Then they do the same challenge, but they reset the counters. And then another team gets in, and then the last 2 have this ridiculous challenge. The first challenge essentially is they have to run around a circle on rocks. First in shoes, then no shoes, then no socks. Crazy. Then the elimination challenge was they had to open locks. They had to find 8. There was one person they were both competing to open up locks. The first one to get 8 wins. And they were 5 pounds, and they had to be locked up to another person once you found them, the other person. So the more you found, the harder it was to get back, like the other person to catch up. And then 9 people entered their own solitary boxes. They intro everyone. Everyone gets a number instead of a name now. And then the top team gets one of their home items, I guess. And before they do this challenge, they're just stuck in this room they said 24 hours.
Without 24 hours.
They actually said 36 when they started the challenge.
Okay, without any food, essentially.
Or sleep.
And so they do this solitary challenge with the other 7 people left, where they have to sit on a stool for some amount of time, which part of our feed was cut off, so there might have actually been an encounter. We're not sure. Then they had to sit on a bicycle seat, and then a bowling ball, and then some sort of wooden peg thing that looked really uncomfortable.
Tiny little wooden octagon.
Yeah, and then 3 people hit the button, and then somebody got eliminated.
Yeah.
And the show, like every there was like certain segments that were really good with like great one-liners, and then there was like sometimes it was just like, come on, you got to be moving this a little bit quicker.
The one-liner count on this show is off the charts.
Unbelievable.
It's The Rock, Dwayne Johnson level for sure.
It has to be the highest number of one-liners in any show we've seen.
What about the hero?
I mean, the hero's up there too. The hero's up there too. But like the number of times we're just sitting there and somebody says something, we're all just, oh my god. Like, I think that Max is writing some of them down this episode, but
I kept writing things down, and then I'd put my phone away because I was done writing it, and then somebody would say another thing. I'd be like, oh god damn it, I gotta write that down too.
So I wrote 2 down early on. I had to charge my phone. Somebody said "son of a biscuit" in their like intro.
Yep.
And like the one dude was just like talking about somebody who was like, "You sound kind of hot," to Val, the like robot voice. It was just like, what? Yeah. So this voice. Can we talk about this voice for a second?
Talk
Val?
about the voice.
Like, is this somebody speaking and then modulating it, or is this like all just like computer generated voice?
I think this is definitely a human behind the voice who knows how to speak like a machine.
yeah, I think it's like a GLaDOS kind of situation.
So-
Okay, so what year is this show from?
I think it's from 2005 or 6 it started.
That's nuts, because Portal was 2007.
Yeah, it's like in that same zone. Yeah,
Man, do you think Portal was like...
influenced by Solitary.
It's a very similar vibe.
It is. It really is.
And
Like a controlling robotic female AI that kind of
On
sounds
like
like that.
experiments and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
So my problem with this being a human, like, are they ADRing these lines in later? Like, somebody has to be constantly monitoring these people and like using Val to talk to them.
You are probably correct. That it was just like a regular human voice, and then somebody like, oh, hello, I am...
Like the ADR'd in the Val stuff.
It definitely seems like the Val lines are added later.
It
But
definitely
I
like
don't
you
know.
never hear the Val line with like somebody talking.
Yeah, you definitely don't hear the Val lines in the microphones that are inside of the pods. It's always just audio that's laid on top of it, right? Like,
Yeah. I still don't like. I don't like this. I don't like the way it's talking. It just like the mannerisms of this person or robot or whatever are just too mechanical, and I think it sets a weird tone that I don't like.
I think it kind of adds to the tone, to the weird, creepy tone of the show. Kind of like I think it's kind of meant to be that way.
No,
yeah.
I
It's
understand. I
it's
just
not
don't.
meant to
As I
be-
talked about, I don't like the tone.
Sure,
so
sure.
like this is part of it.
I think that was supposed to add to the like you are not talking to any human beings because you're just talking to this robot. And
I mean, that's fine, but I'm watching a show, so like,
you are watching the show.
so
What does Val look like?
he looks like a red button.
She looks like a green octagon. I think.
Oh yeah, the green octagon thing.
Well, that's her icon, but she has a control room where she's just like sort of a circle of TVs, which looks exactly like the architect from The Matrix.
Oh, that's right.
For
They,
sure.
they every time they like kept intercutting between like
Yeah.
every intro from the commercial had her in it. So can we talk about some of these people on the show? I think.
Let's talk about these people.
I think we have to talk about Rob first
Let's
because
start with
his
Rob.
name
Oh, actually-
is insane.
Before we get to Rob, can we give a big, welcome back to Rob, aka Rob?
That is a good point.
Am I Rob now?
Yes.
No.
Yes, welcome back to the pod.
Thank you.
It's been quite a bit, I think. I
been a little
guess on that note, sorry about last week's pod. We've been having a lot of trouble with our podcast host.
Yeah.
So we were gonna skip a week, but that was actually posted the week we were gonna skip, kind of.
Well, it still skipped a week. Just the week that
we mentioned we were gonna skip a
skip
week.
the wrong week.
Yeah. Not on purpose. So we're looking into fixing that problem in the future. So
Podomatic, fix your shit.
Yep.
yeah.
Anyway, back to Rob.
This dude so he's a Solitary fan. and has made a solitary pod at home, and like his like video to enter this like reality show, they show bits of it, and it's like him in his homemade solitary pod.
It's next level. Like it is even crazier than when you see people build like their own Ninja Warrior course in their backyard. It's like in that same zone,
Like,
but it's
what
like
do you-
next level.
What do you think he does? Like on the weekend, like, okay, I've got 48 hours. Let's just pretend we're on solitaire this weekend.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm gonna go on my homemade pod. I'm not coming out all weekend.
Did they say what his job was?
They did not, but I know what it is.
What is it?
Tell me.
Sorry, guys. Software engineer.
Oh no!
Not surprising. He is he is the most excited person by far on this show. Like anything, like he gets his number and he is fucking pumped.
He's like, 4. I love 4. I grew up eating foods in groups of 4. 4 is my mom's number. Maybe it's hereditary.
Like
He's clearly a superfan. He clearly kind of knows. He has some more strategy than these other people. Like when that first challenge where they have to run around the circle and the rocks starts. Like he starts, he's wearing jeans. He's like, nope, jeans aren't gonna work. Going straight to my underwear. And
why is he wearing jeans at all?
So I think he's wearing jeans because like he knows that if there's some kind of hot temperature situation or some situation where he needs to be more flexible, he can pop the jeans off and go straight to the underwear. But if there's a situation where it's cold and he wants some pants, then he's already got the pants on. Like,
But
what
he
about a
didn't take
situation
them
where
off
like
where he got
there's
hot.
leg, like, you know, your legs are against something? You know, he's got like the stronger material.
yeah.
I think Rob was just like, those jeans are going to come into play over and over again. He's really thought this through.
No, I think that's a very strategic move by Rob with the jeans.
You think he'd wear better underwear if he was like gonna take it off all the time?
It's functional. It's not for
Yeah.
form.
Yeah.
The other thing Rob claimed in his homemade pod that he did every challenge from the first 2 seasons of Solitary in his pod. So he is ready for whatever they throw at him.
That's incredible.
That's so wild. Like, good for him.
Could you imagine just making the props? Like, okay, well, I'm going to do this chain challenge. Let me go buy fucking chains.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, I got to do this wooden pole challenge where I got to send this pole. Let me fucking woodwork this fucking pole so I can fucking
Let me go buy a bowling ball and drill a pipe into it so I can sit on it for an hour.
Like, that part is ridiculous. Like, making your own pod is just like, okay, you made
This
a room
is-
in your garage. But, like, the props for this shit are just like, what?
Like solitaire is this dude's like a hobby. It's like instead of coming in and hanging out and doing this pod every once a week, he's just building solitary props.
Like, how long? Like, season, like, an episode airs. He's like, oh shit, now I gotta make these props. Like, does he like spend
Yeah.
that week just making the prop?
Oh, I hope so.
Do you think he like has his like girlfriend pretend to be Val? Just kidding. There's no way this dude is fucked in his life.
Oh
Oh, man, dude. So I mean, the Mohawk,
Maybe he gets his mom to do.
which
the Mohawk dude did say that about him.
Yes.
Like, without really knowing who he was.
Rob. One other thing we should talk about for Rob. There's like a segment of the show where Val is telling them little bits of information about the different contestants, and some of Rob's like comments are next level about the other contestants.
Yeah. So to flesh this out a bit, they're introducing the contestants to all the other contestants, and
I
the
find
other
this really
contestants
weird.
burn them. And I thought that was kind of a fun.
There was like next level burning going on.
Oh,
Like,
burn city.
why are you burning people?
There was some good natured joking, and then Rob comes in and makes it too real a couple of times. I think Max has the quotes.
I have a couple ones. So there's this one guy. There's this one guy who says, this guy grew up without electricity. And somebody's like, oh, I grew up without electricity. Oh, I'm so tough. That one is not really mean.
He was just, he was basically making fun of the guy for growing up without electricity.
There's one guy who says he hates technology. So he hates technology and he's a foster child.
Right.
And Rob says, who's my real mommy and daddy? I hate technology, so I can't go on Google to find out.
Oh, man. Rob.
Unbelievable. Just great burn.
Yeah. It was, he gives no fucks.
Yeah. And other people are just like,
I mean, it's not like the other people can hear these burns.
I know,
They're
but you
just
know it's
bu-
going to be on TV.
No, I'm pretty sure they can.
No,
No.
They
No.
definitely
They're in
can't
solitary.
hear
They
each other.
can't hear anything.
For sure.
Like, I'm not even sure they definitely. We talked about not hearing Val's voice, so I don't know exactly who they heard.
Yeah.
Maybe each one of them gets like a different person that talk to or something. I don't know.
Like, I do wonder how good the soundproofing is in all these pods, because you got to think that they're just set up in some big room,
Warehouse.
some warehouse or something.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully the soundproofing is good enough where they can't hear each other yelling in the other
It's the
pods.
same warehouse where they set up the twinning set.
Right.
Later on. But yeah, they must have done some soundproofing. But one last thing on Rob commenting. So one of the contestants, her husband recently died.
Oh my god.
And they did not show us Rob's comment. And we're assuming it's because it was inappropriate for television.
Yep. Seems likely.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, other people were burning other people too in that segment, so it wasn't just Rob.
There were some other burns, but like Rob's were particularly vicious. I thought.
Rob plays to win.
Oh,
All phases of the game.
I mean, Max will I could probably ask Max because he looked it up, but
What up?
I'd be surprised if he didn't win. But we haven't seen him in
Don't
like a.
Don't spoil it yet, because there's an outside chance I might just watch the rest of the
Okay.
season.
Okay.
Like there is like a chance we haven't seen him do an individual challenge yet, so
Sure.
it's possible that he's not great at it. But like the enthusiasm
But
he's
like,
bringing,
we do know that he did win the first. I mean, it was a 2-person challenge. He did win the first challenge, and the strategy for it was his idea, basically.
oh yeah,
Yeah, so his strategy was don't run in like a normal circle, but run kind of in this I don't know how to describe it.
he's like
oddly,
don't
but-
move your head,
It's
you
basically
move
so
your
that you're-
body around.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
your head doesn't turn around, so you don't get as dizzy.
You're always facing the same way, and just kind of like sidestepping around the
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
the middle of it. Yeah.
But he was with like the other 20-year-old guy, which is he's already like a leg up. Like
Oh,
him,
yeah.
he's 38, and he was with the I don't know what
20-year-old
the
Andrew.
20-year-old
Yeah.
Andrew.
Yeah.
And so like they already had like pretty good advantage to begin with, and they were sweating up a storm in there. Like compared to like Mohawk dude, like fucking like he didn't break a sweat.
Yeah.
He did not break a sweat. He was saving himself for the lock challenge.
For sure.
So Rob, what is his legal name? Is that like on his driver's license that he is Rob?
Yeah, because it's
Or is this like a J. Brew situation?
Definitely a
it's-
J Brew.
It is all one word, like camel case, like Rob. I've never have I seen a like.
I think that's just a nickname, and he's just rolling with it.
I feel like I've heard people referred to as like John. Not often.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, John's Game Room on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like a Kennedy thing from like back in the day? I don't know.
Maybe.
Whatever.
Maybe.
Like Little John.
Are you saying Rob is related to Robert Kennedy?
Well, I'm just saying like, oh,
He's
if you
the
were a
other
big
cousin.
Kennedy fan and you like John, maybe you just switch it up and be Rob.
And Rob is
Name your
also
kid
Kennedy.
name-
There you go.
Name your kid Rob.
Oh, man.
Out of like some because you're weird. I don't know.
So, go ahead.
I still think it's a nickname though.
So, speaking of one-liners, this show is so BDSM oriented. It's unbelievable.
It
Yes.
really is.
There's so many like butt jokes and chain jokes. It's off the chain.
And like
Ha, ha,
pain.
ha.
All right. So on that note, we should talk about Mohawk guy.
Let's talk about
Jason.
Oh, yeah.
Is that his name?
Jason.
Jason Momoa.
Jason the bouncer.
Jason Bouncer. He's 30. He's a big dude.
He's big dude. He's bouncer. He's bouncer to club with a mohawk.
He likes chick flicks. Oh wait,
Yes.
no, that's a different guy.
No, I think
No.
it's that guy.
No, that was no. That,
That was
No,
foster
that
child?
was-
that was
Foster.
the foster child. Yeah, that
yeah.
guy.
Sorry.
Yeah, not chick flick, dude.
Yep.
He had some burns to give to the chick flick, dude. Yeah, I mean, this dude does terrible in that first challenge. Like they're the losing team. Him and I don't even know who the other girl was.
Dunzo girl.
Dunzo girl. She left.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. But the chains thing was definitely set up more for like a stronger, like taller competitor.
That definitely did not seem like a fair competition.
No
for
way.
the two of them. I mean, I don't know. It was really hard for her to come back once that thing
Yeah,
started.
once she got 2, I was like, it was 2-1, and you're just like maybe, but
Well, I think it goes one of two ways. I think with that challenge, like either it goes like 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, it's really even, or but like once it was 3-1, I was like, I think it's over.
It just tipped over.
I don't I think it's the kind of thing where, because you get a disadvantage as you fall behind, you just fall more behind. You're like unlikely to come back.
I feel like you even this challenge out by doing the opposite. Once you find one, it goes on you.
Oh,
Instead of going on the other person. So like by the end of it, both of them are like it'll go to like 7-7 because
I like that.
or if you crush it and you're like really crushing it, because part of it was she got all these chains on her, and you could just see psychologically she wasn't even trying as hard anymore. She just like kind of knew she was done.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's like he had the 6 chains on him, and he's like, okay, I got 6, and she's just got the 1, and she's like, I could definitely like come back, get into this.
That really would help with the balance.
Also,
Chris, we need to get you to design season 5 of Solitary.
So 5 pound chains. She's gonna be wearing 20-pound weights on each arm.
Yeah, dude.
That's fucking insane. Like that. Like there's like I could probably do that, but if you're like a regular woman, like you're not gonna be able to do that. Like that's just insane. That's the regular person would have a hard time doing that. And it's like at your wrist level, so it's not like it's at a convenient spot where your body would like be able to like used to handle more weight. Like it's just in an awkward position. They were like, we got this random idea. Let's just set it up.
And the way like the chains hang probably makes it even harder because they're like kind of shaking around and stuff like that. I don't think I could do it. I think it's real tough.
Yeah,
super tough.
I mean, it would. I'd have to like see what it would be like, but I feel like I'd be much more equipped than most people to do it. But again, you're right. Like 40 pounds on like 20 on each side would be like killer. Like to get that 8th one, like if you had 7 chains and you had to find an 8th one after getting like, I don't know, man, that'd be so hard.
Rough.
Yeah.
But like we talked about during the start of the running around the challenge of like, should you throw it and just save yourself for the end? And I think that's what Jason did, because he definitely wasn't trying that hard, and then he was ready for that lock challenge when it came.
You think
I think that's a pro move.
I think if you were going to do that, you would probably try harder when it was just like they reset it. And it was just the 2 teams versus each other.
I mean, like Jason was also definitely frustrated by the nature of that first challenge. Like, he's like, man, I didn't realize this could be some endurance thing. I thought it was just gonna be like puzzles or some mental thing or something. Basically,
like I thought it was just gonna be locked in this room, and you just like that's it.
Like on that note, while Rob is on one end of the spectrum with preparedness for this show, like there are some people that are on the other end of the spectrum that don't even seem to understand what show they signed up for. Really.
Talk to me about Sion. That's his name.
Is Sion the one that has to call his dad?
Yeah.
That guy?
Sion is number 2.
Man, so okay, what's Sion's like background? I can't remember what his background was.
He runs an old folks home.
Right, he runs an old folks home.
And there was some other piece of
He
info about him.
grew up
He
without
didn't grow up with,
electricity.
He's the one who grew up without electricity.
Yeah.
This
And-
reminds me that the bouncer hates old people.
Oh, that's right.
And the Sion, his burn was like, dude, I'll punch you if you hate old people or something like that. It's like, if that old person is not gonna punch you, I'm gonna punch you.
Don't mess around with Sion and his old people.
like this dude, after sitting around this place like for 24 hours, like he's bitching about like how hot they're making and stuff. And he just
Do you remember what he said?
He's like, man, this thing's just a lot more psychological than I was thinking it was gonna be. That's the entire thing, pretty much.
That's the show.
It's psychological. He's like, yeah, didn't realize it was gonna be like this. Me just all alone in this pod.
He's chatting with Val and he says, man, I haven't eaten in a day. I'm sweating like a prostitute.
Oh yeah.
What does that even mean?
I was so confused.
Such a good line.
Like she like sweating like a glass of water on a hot day.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah, it's like a reasonable thing to do. Like sweating like prostitute definitely sweats a lot, right?
Probably said in my life, sweating like a bitch. Doesn't really mean anything. It's just kind of like
You're just using bitch
I'm
as like
sweating
a
like
thing.
a bitch.
Thank you, Max.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
happy to help.
He is the person that gets eliminated at the end of this, right?
No,
No.
different person that got
I
eliminated.
don't remember.
That was,
Even press the button
No.
that we've seen.
yeah.
The foster child gets eliminated.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. This guy
The foster
is
child and the one without electricity are easy to get confused.
The guy without electricity is saved by a call to his dad, who basically just like reams him out for wanting to quit the show. He's just like, "What? You get like?" He's like,
"This is hard."
It's like, "What?" It's like when I was growing up, I had nothing. When we had no electricity, all this stuff, whatever.
Like I had to move you here. You remember that?
Yeah,
that was fucking hard, dude.
He's like, "What? You're on some TV show? Just shut up and stay on the show." Basically,
It's like you've been here for a fucking day.
yeah. The guy's like, "All right, I guess that makes sense." Now he's back in, but I think it's a very temporary lift to his spirits because I just don't know that he has what it takes.
I feel like winning this challenge will help.
If he won the challenge, it helped.
I'm not sure like how many times they're gonna do this where they have to like where they're gonna stay up for like a day and a half and not be able to sleep.
Yeah.
Like they can't do that often. I mean, you're not gonna film the show. You're not gonna film the show for more than 2 weeks. Let's be honest.
Maybe they just don't let them sleep, and then once you fall asleep, like
Over.
you might be
Done.
dead. Let's get him out of here. So, like, just to clarify, because we were confused at first in the show, like, there's no like furniture or anything, but like if they start to fall asleep on the floor, they play some buzzer that wakes them up. So they're not being allowed to sleep.
Yeah. They can lay down on the floor if they want to, but if they start to fall asleep, they'll wake them up, basically.
Yeah.
It was very weird. There was the black woman in the show.
Yes.
What was her name?
I want to say Melissa, but that might be wrong.
She would like they kept showing her complaining about her feet, and like I was just like, why didn't you just sit down? Like she was sitting there for 36 hours. She was standing every time we saw her,
Right.
complaining about her feet. And I'm like seeing all these other people like laying down, playing with the water balls all over their stomach, and like yoga poses, and she's like, my feet hurt. I'm like, well then stop standing.
Maybe she misunderstood the rule that you couldn't
Oh.
sleep and thought that she had to stand the whole time.
I don't know.
Or maybe she has something against sitting on the floor. She's like, I need a chair if I'm going to sit.
Well, then
You're
not
on the
gonna be
wrong show.
like, yeah, you're definitely not sitting.
I need
then.
a chair or I need a bowling ball. if I'm gonna sit.
Ooh, actually, that would be an interesting challenge. You just gotta keep standing.
We might do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Rob has already done that
Oh,
at
yeah.
home.
No doubt.
So back to the phone call. I was actually surprised they're allowed to do phone calls to people because it at first I thought of like this is breaking the entire premise that you do not see anybody except the Val disembodied voice
Yeah,
the entire time you're on
I was
the
like,
show.
Yeah.
why not just let him go? I was confused why the producers were like, okay, let's have him call his dad. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. Like it seemed like they saw these people were about to leave the show super early, and they just kind of needed to save it a little bit.
I disagree entirely.
Really?
I think this is the producers doing. They needed him to like seem like he was going to leave the show.
Oh, so you think that he was faking wanting to leave the show?
Yeah.
I
So, hold on,
could
hold on,
see
hold on.
both- I could
So-
see both sides.
You think that Scion, whatever that guy's name
Yeah.
was faking all this stuff?
I think
that he was acting.
I think the
because
producers told him to do that. Yeah.
I really don't think that's the case.
I don't know
but
how much producer influence there is in this show.
I just don't think you need that much. But it could be the producers. I mean, like the other person that got a call was somebody that really missed her kids, which I think that like it's debatable whether or not that call's even helpful in that situation.
Yeah, she didn't seem to get the lift that Cylon got from
For
his.
Cylon. for sure.
Battlestar Galactica over here?
Yeah. Because, she actually seemed like she was doing yoga poses. She seemed like she was pretty well set up for this, except she's a mom and she's a young kid and feels bad at being apart from her kid. And talking to the kid, I'm not sure that helped or just was like, man, I really should get out of this stupid box and go see my kid.
Yeah, and she they kind of gave her the 1-2 punch of like they gave her like her personal item, which was all these pictures of her kids, which
Yep.
made her
But that's
super
her own doing.
which made her super bummed out. And then they had to do the call basically.
That is one of there was some. So each contestant got a personal item.
Yes.
Some were more useful than others.
There's some great ones in there though.
There was like Scion got like some workout bands, and I'm like, how is that supposed to pick you up? Like you just can do some workouts. Like you
loves
could do
working
that
out.
without them.
I think my favorite one was Jason's, which was just like this insane scary clown mask. It's like it's just this personal item, and he's just wearing it, and he's so happy that he got his clown mask.
It was
Do we
so
know he's
good.
happy? Like
It's-
I can't see his mouth.
The
So.
mask looked happy.
That's right. It seemed like he was happy when he was pulling it out. I'm trying to think. There were some other really weird ones there too.
I wish I could remember.
There
what
was
they all
like
were.
some like army men, like multiple people.
Oh, the
that-
foster
like,
child had
army
like these
men.
little toy army guys. He's like, and he just like screams like, "Yes!" And he's just on the floor playing with them.
Was this
Incredible.
Rob? Was it-
No, that
No,
was the foster child.
Rob's personal item was just a video camera.
Oh, yeah.
Like amazingly.
he needed proof that he was on solitary.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
He's definitely watching that.
Like that was
once
something
a year.
else he'd done in his personal pods. He'd taken film of himself. So he's back at home. He's like, "Oh yeah, I gotta film myself on this TV show."
Does anyone know what Rob's partner's
So the foster
one
child's
was?
name was Triz, right? Was that right?
Triz, yeah, Triz.
That's such an insane.
Wasn't it
name.
like Andrew or something?
yeah.
Yeah, Andrew.
Andrew was
Andrew is a
Rob Rob's.
magician.
Oh, so we had like the magician stuff.
Well, his first personal item was he had things to juggle. So he was juggling.
Yeah.
And then his second personal line was like a fake coin that he could do some trick with.
He was doing magic tricks with fake coins.
So weird. Like the thing is, I enjoy like talking about the show, but I really didn't enjoy watching it.
You didn't like the weird 50 Shades style references in the show?
I'm just like, this is so boring most of the time.
So we brought up so Andrew and Rob got a second personal item because they didn't have to do the second challenge because they did the best the first challenge. And Rob's second personal item is rollerblades, and he's
so
rollerblading
crazy.
around his little cell. It's
That's
so bizarre.
Great one.
It's a little like 5 foot radius cell.
How
It's
do you not get
unbelievable.
really dizzy? Like you just ran around in a circle the best as everyone else, so you're just gonna rollerblade in a circle now?
He was so pumped.
He was like when he goes into that other chamber, like you go from one chamber to the other chamber for this last challenge, and there was no stool for him to sit on. He was the most pumped I think I've ever seen anyone. Like I don't know if any, like I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
He was so pumped.
Because it means he was the best.
Yeah,
That's right.
It was very life affirming.
Yep.
Yes.
I deserve to be on this show because I was the best.
All the prep paid off.
And the other dude was also really pumped, just not to that next level.
Yeah.
Not on Rob's level. No one is on Rob's level.
Let's talk a bit about the losers of this, where they have to sit on some stuff.
Sitting on some stools.
So
yeah. So like one of the things that seems interesting about this challenge that like they don't really confirm at the end because it's kind of gets cut off into a next time is it seems like at the end of this challenge like they are left sitting on this thing until they decide to hit the red button.
yeah.
Which like it seems like maybe where it's going is like the challenge can't end until everybody gets off the thing and hits the red button, which is really messed up psychologically because
Oh, yeah.
you really don't know.
I
Like, when
think that
you can
this
get
show
off the
doesn't
thing.
work if you don't do that.
Right? Like it's
Like you have to try to break these people.
Yeah.
This is like I want this to be CIA training level, like how to break people.
yeah, it's like you finally hit your breaking point, like and you hit the thing, and like you've just been sitting on it, and you've been the only person sitting on it for the last 5 hours or something, like, you know.
What are they gonna give Rob to sit on that he would press the button for? Like I have trouble believing
Nothing. You have to
like,
sit
it'll-
on the actual just like little pole that
Like
you put
I
other
just see
things
like
under.
them like giving him a knife and just like
Just like a
sit on
mace
knife.
or something,
He's like,
yeah.
I guess I got to do it.
You don't think that Rob can be broken?
I don't know if he can be broken.
But like imagine this, Rob. Like they're like, okay, you got to sit on this knife, and you're like, how am I supposed to do any other challenges after I have to sit on this knife or whatever? Like,
How am I supposed
just-
to live?
They just like, well, I might be able to sit on it, but then like I'm not gonna be able to like, I'm gonna be in so much pain that I can't continue with the show. Like, there's definitely like that aspect of the show that
I guess that's
like
true.
they don't really talk about. Whereas like when you run around the circle on these rocks, like you're gonna be dealing with those blisters or whatever you get from that for the entire duration of the show.
You definitely have to manage how much you're putting into each of these challenges, because like you can you can mess yourself up on some of these for sure unnecessarily.
I
Like-
guess that's the answer. Rob knows when it's time to hit the button.
Yeah.
He's like, oh,
Right.
that's what you want me to sit on now? Other people are definitely out. Boop.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
That's next.
Do you think there's another thing they have to sit on if they don't? If
There's
they-
definitely another thing. Now, it might be a thing so ridiculous that everyone just presses the button, but there's definitely another thing. Based on the next time on, there's going to be another thing.
Oh
Okay.
man.
So
What if it's
worth-
just like a nice big cushy seat?
That'd be hilarious.
That'd be amazing.
It is worth saying
Over
that
the
the last thing they're sitting on. So they go from a stool to a bicycle seat to a bowling ball to a green octagon, and they make jokes that the octagon looks like the Val logo.
Val
And-
says, "You
and
must
then
sit
Val
on my face."
says, "Now you must sit on my face."
Too good.
And like, it seems like it was just the contestants making these weird comments. It's like, no, the show is going there. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to know, these producers, do they actually test these things out, or they're just like, I sat on it for like a minute, it's fine.
Probably the latter.
I can't imagine if they're sitting on it for as long as these people are.
Well, like, if they have a real bad challenge and everyone just like bails out too fast, then they just like, okay, that didn't count.
You think so?
They tell everyone they weren't the first person out, and they just do another one. Like, we can't prove they're not doing that.
Sure. Yeah.
That's fair.
And like, none of the contestants know everyone else did. So
That is the advantage of this like format, is you can play around with a ton of stuff, because you can't confirm or deny with anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
You're just playing with yourself. You're just playing by yourself and this like robot voice,
Yep.
which is there or not there, we're not sure.
Yep.
Do you think Rob would like expects to hear Val all the time, but then in the show, and when he's actually there, it's not Val, so he's like super disappointed?
oh, I wonder,
Yes.
yeah, if there's things where like the producers actually talking to him that breaks the fourth wall, it's not like the show. It probably like is devastating to him. Like, no, I only talked to Val.
This isn't how it's supposed to be.
I mean, it's worth noting that in this challenge too, they're not allowed to touch the floor. And there are footrests, but you're not allowed to touch those either.
Yeah, they can like get themselves like steadied on the seat using the footrest, but then they basically just have like these two poles next to them they can like balance on, but it's just their butt on the thing. But like I do think that they can kind of use their arms a little bit to relieve some of the pressure off sitting. Like it seems like that, but you can't hold yourself up that way very long.
Yeah, I wonder if it's more advantage to be like smaller or like bigger and use your arms to like help you more.
I think that it's like as light as possible with good arm strength, because like I mean I think that like if you're heavier, there's just more pressure on whatever that point is you're sitting on, right? Like
Yeah, I mean, the smaller the point, sure.
yeah.
But you're like on that bowling ball. I mean, it's not like, it's just like not designed for you to sit on, so it's
Right.
just awkward.
Yeah.
So it probably depends on what part of the challenge you're focusing on.
Yeah.
I do think it was a really tiny octagon. Like, you can only really get one butt cheek on that thing.
It's like
at most.
It's
Yeah.
the size of like a coaster.
It's
seems
like,
like-
sucks.
you might as well have just had like the metal pole there and be like, sit on that. Because it's like,
Maybe that's the next one. It's just like
Just
a cap
like-
for the pole.
Can I do a little internet corner real quick, just on the topic of Rob and Val?
sure.
I googled Val ADR solitary, and the first video that shows up is called Solitary 5.0 Val impression by user Rob in 2017.
Oh no, is it still him?
I have something I was saving. The name of the YouTube user that uploaded the episode we watched is Rob.
Oh, that's so good. This dude loves solitary so much.
He must be so upset that Solitaire is not on the air anymore.
Do you-
This is the thing. That's another reason I think he won. I bet he won, and he uploaded all the episodes. He's like, "That's right, I
that
did
could
it."
be.
And then when they get taken down, he just makes a new account, uploads them again.
Do you think that Rob has tried to make Fox Reality Channel an offer for the solitary IP?
Dude, maybe.
I mean, he's a
He-
software
he-
engineer, so
he-
he probably is he's not poor, so like it's possible.
Yeah, wants to develop it himself. He wants to develop it himself, like Vin Diesel did with Riddick. He just loves the franchise so much.
It's exactly what's happening.
Sorry, let's dial out of the internet corner.
I mean, on the similar note, like when we watch these old shows and they're available on YouTube, I'm just so like torn that like Fox just doesn't give a fuck enough about this show to like deal with taking down fakes on YouTube.
Well, yeah, it's
Just like they put so little effort into this that they can't put any more little effort into getting the copyright
yeah.
stuff down. Like,
Especially, I mean, like, well, especially in the era of streaming video, where it is easy to make your entire back catalog just available for streaming. Like, why? Like, this show used to be on Hulu and it's not anymore. Like, I wonder if like there's some licensing stuff that
It's
happened,
so
but-
crazy to me that like we have to go to YouTube and Vimeo to like even find some of these shows.
Yeah.
Like they don't even think they're worth being available to watch anywhere.
Yeah, like IP holders just upload your stuff to Hulu and make your money.
Like,
It's weird.
When we're trying to watch the UK shows, they're impossible to find.
Yeah.
Like we can't get BBC, we can't get any of the streaming stuff from like the UK, so it's like, you know, we're stuck with they're not available in the US at all. Like we watched that shitty X on the Beach, and that was like some Vimeo crap that we were watching.
Like, I bet that there's some of that kind of stuff, especially for the international ones, is tied up in things like music licensing rights and stuff like that, where, like, if they wanted to, like, license a song to use in their show for, like, worldwide distribution, it's, like, way more expensive than, like, just UK's. Like, they can actually do it, but agree would be nice if it was, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just
Probably- it's
seems
probably
like
something
you
like that.
spent all this money producing the show, like to not have it available worldwide seems like. I feel like that's why Netflix is worth so much more because they're like, oh well, why wouldn't we have this worldwide? Like,
Sure.
What, like that doesn't make any sense in today's day and age.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Now that we're back off this tangent, we can roll it back to the show. I don't know really if I have anything else to really talk about. Is there any other highlights we need to go over?
I have another internet corner.
Hit me.
I was looking at Fox Reality Channel, some of its original programming. I'm going to give you some of the highlights. Is that on point?
Sure, why not?
Battle of the Bods is a reality show in which 5 girls rank themselves in order of attractiveness and try to match the rankings of a panel of male judges.
Oh my
no.
God.
Oh no.
I got 2 more. My Bear Lady gives adult film stars the opportunity to try out different careers.
Okay.
Solid.
The search
Boring.
for the next Elvira. Self-explanatory. That's it.
Soon to come from Who Put Fox Reality TV On.
Yeah.
Oh, is this Fox Reality Month?
I don't. I'm
know, I
not
mean-
getting a lot of hits or views from Fox Reality.
I mean,
shows.
we got our start on Utopia, a Fox reality show.
That wasn't on the Fox Reality channel. Though.
Right,
That
it
was
was
on
a-
that was true uncut Fox.
Sure. It was a Fox reality show.
Does
That is
Fox even do reality shows other than like the singing competition one?
You the jury.
That's true. We
Yes.
They do them.
we do the Fox reality shows.
That's been over a year ago though.
Oh,
You're the
yeah.
jury.
Probably more. Probably 2 years.
Yeah, no, it was definitely
no, it
last
was
year.
definitely a year ago.
Yeah, I don't know what was the last Fox reality show.
Like Fox is out
They're
on this
not.
reality
They're
show
not
game.
big on the non-talent based reality shows. Yeah.
Yeah, but they only do the singing one. Do they do a different one?
What's their current singing one?
I know they do one. I don't.
It's American Idol, right?
No,
that's
American
on
Idol-
ABC now.
Oh, is it really?
Fox canceled it. ABC brought it back.
Oh, crazy.
Really?
I think it's like. Is it The Voice? No, that's NBC.
No, Voice NBC.
NBC.
Oh, is that weird? The Four
The
show
Four?
on Fox.
I don't think so.
What channel is it on?
What about
CBS.
X Factor?
X Factor's gone, isn't it?
I
Except
don't
for
know.
X Factor
Yeah,
UK.
it is
Oh,
Dunzo.
the Gordon Ramsay shows are on.
Oh,
shit.
Gordon Ramsay is on
All the
every
Gordon
single.
Ramsay, yeah.
There's the
Master Chef.
The 4 Battle for Stardom premieres June 7th on Fox,
Okay.
oh.
aka next week.
Yeah.
Well, there's also that new Gordon Ramsay show out too.
Oh, there's a new Gordon Ramsay show. God damn it!
Man.
There's
Put it on the
every
list.
season there's the new Gordon Ramsay show.
I'm
And
not putting it on the list.
Man, after that last Gordon Ramsay show, I'm not sure we should be watching any of them.
But remember Master Chef Junior though?
Yeah, that was also bad.
Oh no, you didn't like Master Chef Junior?
The episode we watched was bad. Don't you remember?
I don't know. I watched
Does
the whole
not
season.
remember.
That was a
Like-
great show. I watched the whole season.
Yeah. I'm sure the season was fine, but the
Yeah.
episode we watched was garbage.
Oh no.
Like, go back to listen to the pod.
Okay.
We have proof.
We do. We go to the tape.
Okay.
All right, it seems like we're
I
done
don't,
with
think we, I
this
don't think we
show.
had rankings back then. Though.
Maybe not.
It was just. It
think we
was
did.
not better than Married at First Sight, and not worse than Real Housewives. I think that was the consensus.
And that's not our top and bottom anymore.
Yeah.
Max, give me your ranking for this.
Middle of the middle. It was too slow. It has kernels of goodness. I wouldn't watch more.
Wow. very concise.
All right, Harrison, what do you got for me?
I mean, this is I think this is a barely a top third show for me. Like, I think I've watched a couple of seasons of this show. Like, I've
seen seasons.
I have not seen season 3, but I think I've seen like 1 and 2. And this is the quintessential like background show. Like, it moves so slowly and stuff doesn't really happen that much in it. So it's a great background show. You can work to whatever, pay attention to it on and off, and just roll about 6-7 episodes of these a night.
Damn.
I agree with you, Harrison. I would totally be able to work while this was on. I could zone the shit out of this.
No doubt.
And not watch it.
That's
but like watch it.
No, like, it's certainly not an undivided attention show, but like that's the kind of value that it provides.
I feel
to
like
me.
that's all Fox reality TV was. It was just like, hey, you need something on the background.
Yeah.
You know, something to work but not give a fuck about because these shows are kind of garbage. Here they are.
Totally.
So I'm going to put this at top of the bottom.
Oh,
I think
top of the bottom?
I think the tone is bad and it's slow, but
You know
it is
what?
interesting.
I'm a retcon. I agree.
You're
Maybe
going from
other
middle to
episodes are
middle
better.
Hold on,
to top
are you
of the
saying
bottom?
top of the bottom or bottom of the top?
Top of the bottom. The bottom third.
The
but
bottom
top of
third,
bottom.
but the top of it. Okay,
Yeah.
just clarifying.
It's a bottom plus.
Okay.
Rob, what do you got for me?
Oh, and we're so divided because I'm on Team Harrison. This has got to go in the top.
Oh, yeah.
This show is just too nuts. I want to follow Rob's journey.
Let us know how it goes.
I might not actually do it, but I'm intrigued.
But you want to.
I do kind of want to.
Yeah. I do kind of. I do want to see where it goes. Like, I feel like they have some decent characters on it. You know.
Before we move off the show, I want to ask you, Harrison, about season 1.
Okay.
So, do the people on season 1 know they're coming into this solitary confinement show, or are they like, oh, we're just going to be on this reality show from Fox?
So it's been a while since I've seen it. Like years for sure. So I don't really remember, but I think that they knew that they were going to be on some kind of solitary confinement show, but didn't really know like the details about what it was going to be and what the challenges were going to be like and all that kind of stuff because it hadn't been on before. But I think they kind of knew the general idea.
Okay.
I don't think that they showed up expecting to be on just some normal competition reality show and there's like, guess what, you're locked up by yourself forever. Like, I don't think that happened that way. But that'd have been pretty good.
I mean, that'd be pretty nuts. I feel like there's a lot of lawsuits might happen because of that. I feel like you've got to at least have some sort of psych profile to be like, you're not going to just like kill yourself for being alone for 12
Sure.
hours.
Yeah. They can quit any time too. You know, red button's always there.
They can't quit anytime.
Yeah.
That's true. But that doesn't mean people aren't competitive enough to just like not want to hit that red button enough to just like hurt themselves for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Is solitary just like a metaphor for real life? Like that red button's always there. You can always just...
Oh man.
Oh,
Max
that's
is getting dark on us.
That's
Dark
that's
is
deep.
dark.
That's
Max
deep
Max.
and dark.
Plus, you're always alone.
Oh man,
Wow.
that's harsh.
Yeah.
And on that exciting note,
On to bonus time.
Sure.
what are we up to? What have you been watching, Harrison?
I mean, we can crack Westworld open now if we want to.
Well, Westworld and Legion's like, Arrested Development came out yesterday.
I haven't
No,
seen that yet.
shit, I forgot.
I've seen the first couple episodes.
How's it looking? How's it watching?
I don't know, man. I don't know if the spark's there anymore.
It's not there anymore.
I don't like. Season 4 takes a long time to build to something that I really like. Like, I love the end of season 4. Like,
Yes.
like the Cinco de Quattro.
Yep. Yeah.
And the whole like Michael and George Michael plotline is so good, but then the like George Senior, Tobias, Lindsay plotlines are so bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's what really kills me at season 4. But like the season's like kind of all over the place at the moment, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I mean, my hype level when like season 4 was coming out was like maximum possible level because like I mean the first 3 seasons like I've watched the first season a bunch of times. I love that.
They're
and, like,
so good.
My enthusiasm for season 5 coming out is so low because I mean like season 4 was so meh.
Yeah. I own one television show on DVD, and it's Arrested Development seasons 1 through 3.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely be watching it. I just completely forgot it came out.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest difference between seasons 1 through 3 and 4 and 5 at the moment is how they deal with Michael. Like, Michael, seasons 1 through 3 is a very relatable character. Like,
He's reasonable.
He's somewhat dickish, but you have to like take a step back and be like, wait, he's a dick.
Yeah.
But like the show makes him seem like a normal person most of the time. But like season 4 makes him seem like a dick immediately, and he's just like continuously a dick. And so far, season 5 doesn't seem to be like changing that at all. He's just kind of like a douche. And like, so who do you relate to on the show anymore? I don't know. Like, there's no one to relate to, so it's like, I think that's the real falling out on this show at the moment.
I'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. We'll see.
Rob, what have you been watching?
one
You've had some time off recently.
So one show I've been watching, I'll talk about this a little bit, is The Americans, which
Ooh.
I've been watching from the start.
Okay.
And it's a real slow burn kind of show. And like the last season was not that great. And I think like we DVR'd them. I think it took me like 9 months to actually watch all 13 episodes.
Sure.
Like, oh, I guess we'll watch another one. This last season is moving. Things are
Oh.
really good. And
Well, it is the last season.
Yeah, the
correct?
series finale.
the series finale
happened, right?
is tonight.
Right.
Oh.
right,
So I don't know when this episode will go up, but you know when we're recording it. And it got me and my wife thinking about something that I wanted to kind of bring up is like, people talk a lot about like bad finales. What's like a really good series finale? And we actually had trouble thinking of one that we really liked.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I kind of liked the Fringe, the actual finale. I didn't really like the last season that much, but I like where the show ended.
So, like, end of season 3?
No, I liked season 5. I like how season 5 ended, but I didn't think it was bad, as some people do. I thought that the whole season 5 was kind of wishy-washy, but I liked where the characters left off and how they like dealt with their situation.
I really didn't enjoy any of the end of Fringe.
That's fine.
That's a super hard question. I
So,
can't really think of a lot.
The best one I could come up with was the Star Trek The Next Generation series finale. But
That's
even that
good.
one is like, that one's not like, man, that was just like the best episode. That was like, oh, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't really have a problem with a lot of finales that people have a problem with, to be honest. I like Battlestar's ending, other than the weird ghost thing that happened. I thought that was rather dumb.
Yeah.
The Starbuck thing was dumb.
Oh, Starbuck thing was terrible.
I liked how they ended up on a planet and then it ended up like foreshadowing that it was Earth.
Yeah.
Spoilers, but like that's what I enjoyed. I think Breaking Bad had a really good ending.
Breaking Bad had a good ending. Yeah.
I think the Dark Tower book series has an amazing ending.
I have this is going to be unpopular. I was really not a fan of a lot of Lost, and I thought the finale redeemed a bit of it.
Ooh, unpopular opinion.
Unpopular
Yeah.
opinion.
I mean, I half agree with you. I hate I think the ending of the island stuff was fine. Like, I don't know, fine, but but the ending of the Flash Sideways in the last season was hot garbage. And
Yeah.
it should have been deleted from that show.
The island stuff was good.
There was never going to be like a really
They didn't-
satisfying ending. They weren't setting that thing up to have a satisfying ending. They were setting it up to be a show that there's all these mysteries that you research on the internet every week, and like they never really fully explain. I think, I don't know, right? Like,
Yeah. Trying to think. Yeah, this is hard. Ooh, I got one for you.
Give it to me.
Have you guys watched The Handmaid's Tale?
have not.
Well,
I've
there's
seen
no
season 1.
series finale to The Handmaid's Tale.
Or is there? The book ends. There's one book, and the book ends at the finale of season 1. That's just how it ends.
But that doesn't count as a TV series finale because there's more Handmaid's Tale.
He mentioned the Dark Tower.
Yeah, I was just mentioning a good ending.
Oh, he's just saying the book, not the show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's not a series, though. I mean, Westworld and Legion are still really good.
Yeah.
And we don't have to go into Westworld spoilers this week, but
Yeah, We had a
definitely highly enjoyable shows.
yeah.
One more shout out to another show I've been watching that's amazing. which is Jers Day.
Oh,
Jers Day is
I'm
just so good.
Jers
I'm not fully caught up, but
I've
it's
been
really good.
watching.
You gotta catch up, Max.
Okay.
Jers Day is such a weird show to like. It's oddly compelling again.
Yeah.
I can't believe it works, but it's just every episode I'm like, oh, there's more Jers Day. I can't. This is
Like,
great.
I can't imagine that the producers found these like crazy people, put them all in the house, and they all kind of work together. And they've been working together for how many years now? And they come back later, and they're still kind of like as interesting and as compelling as they were like forever ago.
Chris, I have a gift to give you. MTV recently put up the original audition videos for all of these people.
Oh man, I definitely need to watch.
Yeah,
those.
I'll send
That's-
them out.
That's so good.
Post them on the Facebook page.
I will.
That's definitely next level. Gotta watch that.
I've been obviously keeping up with the challenge Champs vs. Stars. I'm not going to go into any recaps or anything, but just to say that I think that this season has been more interesting than I thought it was going to be at the start, and certainly the best of the spin-off seasons. It's kind of, I think, getting into the final phase. There's like 10 people left now, I think.
I saw a post on the MTV Challenge subreddit.
Oh, with the dad bods?
The dad bods is pretty good. And there was a post about
Yeah.
how this is a more interesting challenge than the last regular challenge.
Interesting.
They've done a lot of interesting format things with this one for sure. Yeah, no doubt.
But this is as someone who's now heard Harrison describe multiple seasons of the challenge, this is his move. Part with you sees me like, this season's so good. I love this season. Then when the end, he's like, I'm not sure that season was really that good.
Well, like, I mean, I think that like the middle, like the middle third of the challenge of a challenge season is always the most interesting part, because like that's kind of when like some shit's gone down and like you're deep into like
yeah.
the game and the politics and some things have happened and they've done a couple twists. Like the actual final never is really that, like the way they wrap it in the final is never really that interesting. Like that middle part of the game was a lot of jockeying for a position and who's going to get into the final. Is the part that I
Especially
like.
when they don't reveal who wins until a 2-hour reunion show. You know.
No
Reunion
good.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Have they announced the official Final Reckoning cast or not yet?
I don't believe that they've announced the
Did they
cast.
even announce?
but it is known.
Of course, yeah.
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 Did they even announce when it's going to air?
I don't. I haven't seen a date yet, but that doesn't mean they haven't announced it.
Chris, are you excited for the return of Floribama Shore?
I'm more excited for that than I am the challenge. I don't even think I'm going to watch. I don't really want to watch the season of the challenge.
Oh,
Like,
you gotta watch the Final Reckoning.
I'm just like, I'm tired of the producer bullshit on that show.
I mean, at least wrap up the trilogy.
Yeah.
with
I mean,
Final
Fast
Reckoning.
7 of the
And
challenge
then he can be
universe.
I'll probably watch it like while I'm working. Like I'm not going to sit and actually pay attention to it anymore.
Okay, reasonable.
Like I'll compromise with you. And
I will half watch it while I'm doing
I
something
will
else.
kind of watch it, but not really watch it.
Okay.
So I can discuss it with you. But that's about it. All right. Well, I guess that brings us to the end of this. Please find us on Twitter at WhoPutThisOn. You can find us on Facebook.com/WhoPutThisOn. You can email us questions and suggestions at WhoPutThisOn@gmail.com. Please rate us on iTunes, and we'll see you guys next time. Adios.